I've been with Orchid Garden for about 2.5 years. It's actually my first job since I graduated. So my typical day starts at 7 a.m. So we'll start with the changing of orchids. That's routine and something that we do every day. So after the changing of orchids, I will do my rounds to make sure that the garden is in good condition. That would take about 1.5 hours. The garden opens at 8:30. So by that time, most of our changing would have been done. So after 8:30, I will gather my tools and then we would have most likely planned on the work that needs to be done for that day. Rana?
Twinkle.
This one need to up a little bit, then center need to put one more. Normally you are tighting to the birdcage, right? Okay. In the orchid garden, we are divided into two different teams. We have the display team as well as the nursery team. So the display area is the area that is open to visitors to enjoy. Display standard, I mean like, for example, for an orchid, it must definitely be robust, especially for temporary displays. So these are the areas that we actually change in the morning before the gardens open. Two only, right? We pluck the flowers when the leaves, the petals are bruised or if they are eaten by slugs. So those that are chewed, yellow, or bruised, we will remove them. So once the removal gets to a point where it's less than 3, we will change out the whole plant. And then for leaves, if they are burned, out. If they are bruised, out. So it must be green and nice and like succulent. Usually we bring them down and then we pass them to the nursery team. They will nurse our plants back to health because sometimes they get a bit abused because tourists like to take photos with the orchids, so they get really close and sometimes like brushing the orchids or just touching them can bruise the flowers or the leaves. So once they're in good health and display standard, then we will bring them up. In order to maintain actually like a single pot of say 5 flowering plants throughout the whole year, we need a stock of 200 plants or so. That's because not all of them flower at the same time. We always keep our eye out for what needs to be improved as well. So certain areas that look a bit tired or they look like they need a new refresh, we will always keep that in mind and then we'll plan that as part of our yearly work. It's not easy to keep the gardens in tip-top conditions. Like, it is not natural for gardens to look like that. If you leave a garden to let it be on its own, it's not going to be flourishing as what you see here in the orchid garden. I love being outdoors and I always envision myself working outdoors as a young kid. And this is the perfect place to work in. It's a good balance of outdoors and planning. It is really quite satisfying to be able to see something come to fruition from your planning, because it's actually not as easy to work with plants as people think it might be. Plants are living things and they usually don't just do the things that we want them to do. And being able to do that makes me quite satisfied. You can never do this alone. You will definitely need a very close team of people with good teamwork. Everyone shares a passion for what we do, so it's very encouraging to be able to come to work and see that kind of passion, and hopefully it shines from our work. I hope so.